Hi, I'm Amanda, and I've been dumpster diving all over Campbell River, and I've found tons of organics in these dumpsters, such as this kale and Swiss chard, and we even have some onions. And it's really sad that these are going to end up in the landfill and not in people's composters and in their backyards.
Campbell River has a problem. Its garbage dump is filling up rapidly. Over 7 million pounds of waste is trucked here from homes in Campbell River annually. But does all the waste really need to go there? We made the check.
Now in this patch of garbage, we've got some watermelon skins, we've got some more apples, we've got lots of good rotting compostable material. We even have hair, which can be composted as well.
About 1/3 of the household garbage is organic material that does not need to go to the landfill. It can be composted instead and even turned into productive garden soil. To motivate and teach Campbell Riverites how to compost, the city created its own competition, the 30-day Video Compost Challenge. The jury picked 6 families to compete not only in producing the best compost, but also in shooting the most creative and funniest video clips with their brand new iPads.
I think that we could inspire a lot of families, and I think that we're going to have awesome soil for our garden, maybe make it bigger, and just, in general, help Campbell River be greener.
For most, it was the first time ever, but they were not alone. They got professional help. Campbell River's own compost diva, Elaine Jansen, at the Compost Education Center provided the necessary knowledge and hands-on experience. With an evening workshop, Elaine got everybody started and followed up with individual sessions at the family's homes.
As soon as someone puts a composter in the backyard, the next door neighbor goes, "Oh, you have a composter, we're going to have rodents." Well, that's not true. No.
Prepared with the basic knowledge, the 6 teams were ready to compete for the main prize, $500 worth of groceries for the best compost, video clips, and advocacy.
Show it, show it, show it. It's easy and you know it.
Composting is an activity that kids love. It is easy enough that they can pick the ideas up, and most often they become more rigorous in implementing them than the parents. And once they've done it, they will never forget the experience. The waste problem is not unique to Campbell River. Other cities struggle with it as well. To publicize the problem, a Vancouver couple started a provocative competition that also inspired our local campaign. Their motto? How can we not produce any garbage?
We look at the issue of disposal of Vancouver's garbage. An issue that's coming into sharp focus with the pending closure of the landfill next year.
For 1 year, we will not produce any waste, and as part of that project, we won't buy any stuff.
It had to be a competition.
The person who has the least amount of garbage and who didn't buy anything wins.
So if you can make learning about these issues fun and make it maybe a competition, it's easier to stick with it and it's less depressing.
Yeah, it really helped us to have it as a fun competition because we were really looking over each other's shoulders to make sure that we were doing a good job, but then we were also kind of on the same team so that you didn't feel like you were the only one in the world that cared about this. And now in retrospect, of course, it's been completely life-changing for us. Like, we feel like we couldn't go back to making so much garbage again, and also just our lifestyle, like the people that we've met through it, and the things we do on a daily basis all kind of integrate zero waste into it.
Inspired by the competition idea, the Murphy family created another twist to the video challenge.
Okay, for some reason, Paul thinks that I am going to slip up in this composting thing, that I am not going to know what to put in the compost, what to put in the garbage. So we have begun a personal, private competition within the competition, if you will. And it starts tomorrow when we officially begin this whole composting kickoff thing. So would you like to explain?
The competition is going to be to see who can find the most compostable material the other person fails to put in the compost. And every time we find up to 3 things that the other person has not put in the compost, we earn a sleep-in. And so I'm going to be very careful, and I will look very hard, and I will make sure that I get lots of sleep-ins over the next month.
Not going to happen, because I've got it down.
Organic waste can be treated in many ways. The devices available at the Compost Education Center have a long track record, are rodent and raccoon proof, consume little room, and are easy to handle.
So here we go.
The earth machine that you guys purchased or have been given, the earth machine is to the benefit of making compost. So you're using your yard waste, your kitchen waste, your garden waste, and you get that benefit of compost in the end, okay? No meat or bones, none of that kind of stuff. All your organic material. Not organically certified, but organic. This is called a green cone. This is not a composter, it's a digester. And what the digester does is it takes everything out of your kitchen. So meat, bones, cooked, uncooked, anything out of the kitchen, fridge, counter, anything, it goes into here. If you were to add yard waste to it, say you got your kitchen scraps going in there and it's all working well, and all of a sudden you go through your yard waste in, it will stop.
Trying to dig my hole.
Julina was the only one to pick the green cone, and she had a reason.
How do I feel about being one of the 6 families? Quite honestly, I think that I have it pretty easy compared to them. They're doing actual composters, and that's a lot harder. I've been watching some of the videos of some of the families, and it looks pretty hard. I mean, they gotta do layers and know what they're doing, and let's face it, I just take my food out there and it goes away and I'm just producing.
Well, just the installation did not turn out so easy for her. So is composting really harder? Elaine claims that composting can be done by everyone. Don't believe it? So come and check it out.
So welcome to the Compost Education Center here in Campbell River. We are part of the Comox Strathcona Waste Management, and we teach the compost education. Here's an easy compost recipe on how to make compost in your own backyard. With composting, you want sun, you want water, and you want an aerating tool. The aerating tool is the most important part of composting, and the reason for that is you need to have aeration to make a composter work properly. Twigs. Everybody has twigs or branches in their backyard normally. A little bit of twigs or straw if you've got it. Putting in leaves, putting in grass, doing your layers, very, very important. A little bit of dirt, carrying on, and then dropping in kitchen scraps down the center. Really important to keep a composter damp as a sponge, okay? Putting the compost together correctly will make your compost work quickly. You can get compost out of one of these as early as 6 months or less, depending on how well you're composting.
Sounds easy, doesn't it? But theory and practice are not necessarily the same.
What are you doing, Paul?
Our compost is full of flies. We didn't do anything right. So I have to take all of the stuff that we've put in the compost to this point out so that we can put some straw at the bottom. There's a lot of stuff in there. It's going to be pretty gross. And then, yeah, it's going to suck.
Just straw or anything else?
Today, just straw right now. And then we're going to put some more stuff on top and some leaves and some more bits of food. But first thing we got to do is get some straw on the bottom.
The problem that we're really facing so far is that brown layer is really hard to make up because it's made up of dead leaves and things that you get in the autumn, in the winter. And we didn't collect any in the autumn or the winter, so I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, look at our yard. Show them the yard. There's not really any browns out there, it's all green. And all of that stuff can be used for the green layer, but not really for the brown layer.
A good challenge doesn't come without fallbacks. But once again, Elaine was able to put everybody back on track. Another material that works as brown is ripped cardboard that the Bains are using here instead of dried leaves.
We have a brown layer!
Here it
coming down. Put your hard hats on. Look at that, boys. Brown day.
With the brown gold added in layers, the composts are starting to look really good. Being confronted with the same problem, Kim and Hugh certainly came up with the most creative way to express it and to describe their solution.
You need your browns and you need your greens along with some food scraps. Compost challenge for 1 month. Keep the iPad and apps. Compost Diva came to visit. Nothing that we had met her standards. What do we do? This could be really bad. We had no browns and we had no greens and very few food scraps. But we'll do what we can to keep our iPad and apps. We called on our friends and got some grass spot straw from the store. Watering keeps it nice and damp. It's really not a chore. We got our browns and we got our greens and a few food scraps. Compost challenge almost done. Get to keep our iPad and apps. Keep our iPad and apps. Keep our iPad and apps.
Oh, that's
Hey.
awesome.
Our weigh-in for the garbage for week 4 is 13.5 pounds. So come and take a look.
The weekly weigh day showed the truth in how well families succeeded in reducing their garbage.
The lower weight is because I think each member of the family is being really conscious as what is going into the garbage and what can be recycled. We're really trying to separate and to recycle the things we can recycle.
This is our 4th weigh-in for the compost competition, and this is a good weigh-in. We're down to 10 pounds. That brings us way down. Either we're doing something right or we're doing something wrong, but I think we're in the right category.
I weighed my garbage at the beginning of the week, and it was 52 pounds. So 52 pounds for a family of 2 is really just quite ridiculous. In 1 month, that's over 200 pounds that's going directly to the landfill. So I'm trying everything I can to actually minimize and reduce everything that's going to landfill. And I even went to the point of putting cloth diapers back on my son, which any mom out there knows is the biggest pain in the...
Number 2.
The weekly monitoring of garbage weight makes the changes really obvious.
3.2 pounds. I'm pretty proud of how we've done reducing our garbage. You know, for 4 weeks, we're still 6.2 pounds shy of the first week before.
It's time to check in and see how the Murphys are doing, and if Angel and Paul were able to get a sleep in.
Okay, as many of you know, Paul and I have a little compost challenge of our own, whereupon we have to make sure that everything goes into the proper destination, the compost. Paul is trying to claim a sleep-in this morning because a few things were not in the compost. I declare this unfair, so I will now recreate the situation. This is the contents of the sink. Now, the situation last night was the compost was in the backyard. So I merely left these few items in the sink until I could put them in the bucket. And Paul says that doesn't count. I should have gone outside and got the bucket. First sleep in for him. Well, it's on now, Paul.
While the Murphys are still waiting for their first sleep in, the others have discovered that you can compost your organics even away from home. The Bainses have gone compost camping. They even took their kitchen compost caddy with them and talked their neighbors to join.
What is it? What did I put in this thing?
I think we're doing pretty good. You know, we convinced our neighbors to go with compost, which is sweet because they never said they'd ever compost, so they're composting now, which is awesome. And we've got lots of compost for our compost when we get back home from camping, and that's awesome because we add it in there.
So I'm Eve, and I'm their neighbor. I'm the Bains' neighbor, and I've got, as you can see, I've got some strawberry scraps, and I'm going to put them with the compost of the Bains family because we we've been convinced by the Bains family that composting is the best thing, and that's why I think they should win their prize with the iPad thing, because somebody that gets me to compost is a great thing. So here I go. So now that was pretty easy, wasn't it?
I also have this stuff for compost.
Good job!
After 4 weeks of trial, error, and success, it is time for the final judgment. Elaine is keen to find out about the fruits of her teaching.
Anybody here? It is Judgment Day today. We are checking out the compost. Okay, let's see what we've got. Oh, we have our carbon, our brown material on top. That's looking good. Tiny bit dry, but it's good. We're good. Well, we're off to our next location. It was interesting, the first one. It was, they did a great job. No fruit flies, no rodents, enthusiastic family. Be interesting to see what the next family's like. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. Do you want to come and help the Compost Diva check out your green cone today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, come on. Let's go. Come on, Mom. Let's go. You gonna help me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You gonna show me where the green cone is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you show me.
In here.
Oh, in there. Don't run too fast, okay? Because I'm old. There we go. There. Can you hang up? So put your hand up because it's a little bit big for you. There we go. Okay, turn around. And then you can put your hands there, and then you look in. What do you see?
Garbage. Yuck.
Garbage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and there's no smell.
No.
A few little flies, but otherwise it's not bad at all. So, good job.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. It's always a good idea to place it on a flat surface rather than on a bit of a slope. As with this one, it's in a great location for sun because you want full sun, but otherwise good effort. The point of reducing pounds that are going into the landfill is awesome. I think she reduced it almost half. So really pleased with that, and E for effort.
Originally, I had a couple neighbors who said, like, why would you do that? It's going to be a lot of work. And I had one neighbor who said that we do have raccoons in the area and it's just going to promote them to coming into my yard and feeding their family, essentially. But it was easy, and I didn't have the raccoons in there at all. So there's no smell. It's not bringing them in or anything. And when I talked to the other neighbor about how easy it was and explained that I didn't have to really do anything, he seemed pretty eager to do it. So I think it'll pass along. Other people will start doing it.
After only 1 month, all the teams were producing good compost.
See the steam?
Wow.
The Revoy's compost is even steaming perfectly.
I think the biggest thing has been the whole paradigm shift in our family. That the kids are on board. It's not even a second thought. They know what they're doing. They're totally on board, excited about it. The whole shift of thinking about less waste and, oh, this has to be composted, and oh, it's time to aerate, and it's really nice seeing just that now it's just become the norm. Just even any thoughts of not doing it, it's just become the norm.
You know what you said?
Hi, Edward.
Hey, crew, come on
Hey.
in. How are you all?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing very well, thank
Good.
you.
Oh, and you put your markers on? Is that what's the markers? Just so that you know where
I
the line
know
up
where
here?
the exact spot is because
Perfect.
everything's black on black and I'm
True.
colorblind.
Oh, okay. Well, that was easy. Well, that works for me too. I think I should do that too.
Lid off or lid on?
You can take the lid off. Let's see.
There we go. Have a look.
Oh, looking good. No smell. Oh, aerator right handy. Here's my instruments. It looks great. No smell, no fruit flies. And you've taken compost out of it already since
No,
you've had this yet? So you're waiting, so you haven't taken anything
I'm
out?
just letting it do its thing,
Okay.
and but it seems to be breaking down a little bit. As
Okay.
you can see already, and
Yep.
I'm throwing a little bit of dirt in there, like you said. So
Yep.
right now the green's ready to go in. I'll spread a little dirt on it.
Yep.
And I do have a load of material in the house to come out here, which I thought I would do later on.
Okay.
But I wanted you to see at this stage to
Yeah,
see
no,
if
it looks great. Okay.
Well, I have to admit, with this challenge, I didn't know what the heck you were getting me into. But I have to say, I'm really glad we were picked because I'm learning things I never thought was possible for two people at our stage where we are in life without a lot of extra food and stuff, how much we've accomplished and what we've learned.
Well, I agree with you. I wasn't too sure whether it was going to work for our family, but it goes to show that it doesn't matter the size of the family, it's the fact that we are doing it, we're putting our scraps into the compost, and at the end of the year, we're going to have some good soil, and we're taking stuff out of the landfill. Whether it be two people in a family and we're just putting a small amount away, or whether it's a large family with 6, 7 children. We're doing our part and it's working well. I really think it's a good thing, and I'm pleased, Susan.
Yeah, I can see where it's going to make a difference for us and for anyone else like us. Now I can say, you've got to give it a try. It's really easier than you think once you get going, and it works.
I'd like to say to everybody out there that if we can do it, you can do it, and we sincerely thank Campbell River for giving us this opportunity to try and see what we could accomplish and what we can send to you to use for this. Thank you.
So I was watching back some of our clips from earlier in the challenge, and I noticed that our children are usually in their pajamas. And I think what that's evident of, because we do get them dressed, is that Paul and I are up early in the morning every day. And what that's evident of, girls, ta-ta, is that we haven't been getting any sleep-ins. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried to catch Paul putting compostables in the garbage, but the truth is, it's a really easy system to adopt, and yeah, we couldn't beat each other. Composting is too easy to just incorporate into your life, and unfortunately for me, I haven't been getting any sleep-ins around here. Good for the earth, bad for me.
While private composting becomes more and more popular in Campbell River, there are hardly any businesses that separate the organic part of the garbage. But this is going to change, thanks to Rosanne's initiative.
For quite some time I've wanted to start composting at work here and didn't know really how to go about it. So when we got picked as part of the Compost Challenge for Campbell River, a light went off in my head. Yes, we're going to start composting at Evergreen. And I talked to the owners and they were just so excited about it and enthusiastic. So
I love the idea of composting, and I'm really excited to be one of the first facilities on board in Campbell River to start reducing the waste and getting a composter working in our garden and having the residents get involved.
As we found on the landfill, most commercial organic waste goes there. One exception is the Campbell River Health Food Store.
So I asked several of our organic farmers about their composting mandates, and they kind of almost chuckle at the question because it is a part and parcel of organic farming is composting. They absolutely need the compost to replenish their soils to grow quality produce. So yeah, the local producers that we get produce from compost 100%.
The store is also giving the expired organics away to private composters.
We gather them 2-3 times a week and then use what we can and then share the rest. My wife Danuta and I have our garden here as well as a plot at the community garden. We have several composters, plus we share compost with a couple of friends.
you know what surprised me the most about this challenge? So many people were interested. All of our friends were like so eager and enthusiastic to learn or to help us out. That really surprised me at how many people really want to know about composting. They just need the education.
After 4 weeks of learning and competing, the green roof on City Hall provides the perfect setting for the final party and award ceremony. Good food and the video highlights are on the program before MC Warren Andrews announces the winner family.
Wow. The Bains took their compost camping, got neighbors involved, and even started a compost initiative at the Evergreen Seniors Lodge. And the winner is, I have not seen this, so I'll act as surprised as you, the Revoy family! The judges were extremely impressed with how healthy the Revoy's compost was. It was steaming with perfect brown and green layers and no fruit flies. You also reduced your garbage by 23 pounds. And your video footage was great.
The crowd makes sure that the stylish winner's cake and jelly worms and fruits does not go into the compost, but is fully consumed. More and more people in Campbell River are discovering the benefits of composting. Over 150 composter units and digesters were sold during the recent rebate program. And the idea seems to be spreading.
Really nicely. And don't forget the blueberries.
So I was thinking about the compost challenge, and I really think that it's important that we can show other families that it's so fun and so easy just to bring your compost out and give it a little water, you know, and it can just really bring a family together. And you know that I really want to grow up, and if I ever have kids, have it to be second nature for them, and that we're not going to be producing a lot of garbage, and that putting your compost in a compost bin is going to be what everybody's doing. So I was just thinking that it's really important, and I really want to be that generation that said, we did this, we made this second nature for our kids and for the next generations in Campbell River.
Do you hear that noise?
Yeah. Sounds like music coming from the compost.
What?
Let's go down and check.
All right, go ahead. That's weird.
Yeah, it is coming from the compost.
Open that up.
Here, I'll take the lid off. Oh, Susan, I think you overwatered it. They're having a pool party down in there.
Oh my gosh. Look at those guys.
They're wild. I don't believe this. Nobody's going to believe this.
Oh my God, put the lid back on.
I think we better. I don't think we should tell anybody.
That is, wow. I don't remember seeing anything in the book about that.
Neither did I.
Maybe we'll just keep this to ourselves.
Yeah, I don't think we should tell anybody.
Especially Elaine.
Thanks for the compost, Campbell River.